We try to stay in our lane here and stick to stories about black violence and crime wildly out of proportion, and how reporters and public officials in the United States are in such denial, deceit, and delusion about it. But there are so many stories coming out of Australia over and over and over, and they're so eerily similar to what's happening here. And you can see the reporters and public officials there are having the same problem, looking it in the eye and calling it for what it is. I mean, here we're going to see 50 black people rampage through a couple of different places in Australia. I mean, they're jumping over fences, they're attacking families, they're going to the beach, they're attacking families, robbing them, they're fighting police on horses, the whole thing, destroying property. And then the next day, the mayor of the town, you'll meet him in a minute. He's a guy with the goofy jacket and goofy glasses. He looks into the camera and he says, well, that was problematic. Your hometown is under invasion. And you say it's problematic? That's the best you can do?
Father who's been punched in the face and pelted with glass bottles after a gang of youths ran riot in his backyard. It came as police deployed hundreds of other officers to deal with the out-of-control beachgoers. Lana Murphy with more.
Surrounded by a wall of strangers armed with bats and brooms. A family fights back after a gang of rowdy beachgoers attacked them at their Chelsea home.
So it just got out of control. When your family's threatened, how would you feel?
Scaling Frank's fence, the youths pelted glass bottles and furniture towards the family as they ate dinner in their backyard, smashing his son's windscreen and leaving his partner bruised.
They're telling us they're going to kill us and, you know, all this sort of stuff and, you know, like really, really vulgar things.
Started throwing punches now. I copped a couple, you know, I got a couple back. Don't touch people's property. Have some respect.
Police say the group was drinking illegally and using the popular beach cut-through before they started sitting on a car in Frank's driveway.
They come in numbers and they're just so angry.
Local council now open to considering a closure of the beach access point.
Ultimately, we have to look at the options that are going to combat this type of violence and gang-type mentality down there.
Police were first called to Chelsea at 6 o'clock to break up a brawl in this car park, but the violence spread into surrounding streets and the public order response team was forced to spend 5 hours dispersing smaller groups of youths. One person was arrested for drunken behaviour, a far cry from scenes unfolding at the same time in St Kilda. Police arresting 16 people near the foreshore for a range of offences, including attempted robbery, criminal damage and assaulting police, searching 123 people for weapons. The City of Port Phillip's 24-hour alcohol ban is not in place until December 15.
But more frustrating than that is that people are drinking unlawfully now. I can guarantee you we will never eradicate it completely.
Lana Murphy, 9 News.
Police will once again be along the St Kilda foreshore this evening after a violent night resulted in the arrests of 16 people. And in Chelsea, riot police and the dog squad stopped a gang of thugs terrorising beachgoers and families.
Another violent night along St Kilda's foreshore. Tempers flared between police and a gang of thugs looking for trouble.
Police were everywhere, but later in the night, it got a bit ugly. Last night was a bit problematic, there's no doubt.
Officers made arrests for assaulting police, criminal damage and drug possession as part of Operation Sandsafe. Police also found one person armed with a knife. Just 25 kilometres away in Chelsea, riot police swooped on 70 teens involved in a brawl at a car park. The youths fled to a nearby beach and started attacking families. One couple told of their terror after they were ambushed during a barbecue.
And they started, you know, hurling abuse, you know, you white dogs, you know, you slut, you know, all of those names.
But the violent scenes escalated and glass bottles were thrown.
There's 40, 50 of them, you know, they broke the gate. They were jumping over the gate. They threw a bin over the gate, you know, and what do you do?
Jade and her partner Frank were punched several times, leaving them bruised.
I've got a cut on my toe. I've got cuts here. I've got bruises on me.
I've copped a couple on the side of the face here, a couple. But what do you do?
They're now in fear for their lives.
I didn't go to work today because I felt like, you know, it's going to be hot again. How many of them are going to come show up again tonight?
Yeah, we are. We're worried. We're scared for our lives.
When your family's threatened, how would you feel?
Live now to Cassie Zervos at St Kilda. And Cassie, are police ready for more trouble tonight?
Yeah, that's right, Blake. We're in for a hot night, which means large crowds are likely to come down here to cool off. Mounted police, water police and transit police will be on patrol tonight and throughout the summer period. But for now, people can still come down here and enjoy a drink by the bay up until 8 p.m. The 24-hour booze ban doesn't kick in until Saturday next week.
You know, it was about 10 years ago that Australia, some of the geniuses down there decided they were going to make everybody with guns in Australia hand in their guns. They outlawed most of the private ownership of guns.
Please, sir, I want some more.
At the same time, the same geniuses decided that there were a lot of unfortunate people living in Africa that needed another chance, that needed just a break to get ahead, so they moved them to Australia. Now they moved in over 100,000 immigrants from Africa, and it has been one catastrophe after another. And it keeps growing and growing and growing. And the weird thing is, as it grows more and more and more, the people become less and less willing to look it in the eye and call it what it is. Black mob violence, black criminality, wildly out of proportion. Because even down under, they don't want to make the black kids angry.